Well, the big news in Canberra this week was, of course, Barnaby Joyce. And like sparks flying from a chemistry experiment gone wrong, the return of Barnaby as Deputy PM has dramatically changed political life in Canberra. Whether Joyce's elevation will benefit or harm the Morrison government at the election is an open question. But right now, it is a massive complication for the PM. It has already unleashed a battle over power within the coalition, and it has intensified difficulties on climate policy, water and women's affairs. It was a surreal backdrop in the week's final sitting of Parliament. There was Scott Morrison, quarantined at the Lodge, looming virtually over the House of Reps, while Barnaby occupied the PM's chair at the centre table, the focus of attention. With their new leader in place, the Nationals have moved amendments on water, challenging the Murray-Darling Basin Plan in an open split with the Liberals. This led the Liberals to team up with Labor to defeat the Nationals. Strange times indeed. Meanwhile, Morrison's problems on climate policy, hard enough before this week, just got a lot harder. The PM has been crab walking towards a commitment to zero net emissions by 2050. But Joyce has a history of opposing a 2050 target and is saying privately that he still does. And opposition within the Nationals to the 2050 target was one important driver of the Joyce coup. The spectre of the Nats having more say on climate policy sparked a sharp reaction from pro-climate action Liberals. Queensland Liberal Warren Entsch challenged the Nationals to help farmers by making sure fossil fuel companies did their share of the work to reach net zero. Writing in the Nine papers, Entsch said, if the Nationals were really concerned about the livelihoods of farmers, perhaps they would do more to advocate for and enable the sector's autonomy, rather than going off half-cocked and running roughshod over a net zero 2050 emissions target. They might also like to consider what an increasingly warmer climate will mean for Australia's agriculture in years to come. Finally, some of Barnaby Joyce's own female colleagues warned his reinstatement would leave some women unimpressed. So the opposition and Greens, as you'd expect, jumped on this, saying that allowing the newly appointed Deputy PM to take part in a special cabinet group for women was a farce and unbelievable. It is hard to have confidence in a task force that includes a man that does not have the confidence of the women of the National Party, they said.